households continuing to struggle with the cost of living. We know how bad it is, but the latest hunger report from Foodbank Australia is just shocking. 3.7 million households experiencing food insecurity in the last year. You think about financial insecurity, that's bad enough. But when you can't put food on the table, what sort of country are we living in? More and more working families struggling to put food on the table, relying on food donations. Over 50% of Victorian households who experienced food insecurity had a member doing paid work. Joining me now to walk through this problem is the CEO, who they do a great job, of Foodbank Victoria, David McNamara. David, these statistics are just frightening.
They are, Steve. As you said earlier, the lucky country, it's hard to reconcile the number of people that we're seeing turn up for assistance and put lucky next to that, because the people we're helping certainly don't feel lucky, anything but. And that's, when we look at it, we're sending out 65,000 meals a day across Victoria, and that's not the full extent. Unfortunately, we're having to limit the food that we have available to our network of over 500 charities. They're seeing increases of 200% of people turning up, and we're having to buy for the first time in the last 2 years. We've spent over $10 million trying to source the food that people need to get it out to them.
You've been doing this for a long time. Have you ever seen it as bad? And did you ever imagine in Australia in 2024, that's where we'd be at, with people who are on, working salaries who can't afford to feed their kids?
No, I didn't, Steve. Look, I've been in this sector doing food relief for over 20 years now. Back when I started, it was predominantly, you would say, people on the street. Now it's people in your street. These are working families, sometimes parents with 2 jobs or more, trying to not only just keep the roof over their heads, but put healthy food on the table for their kids. And over 50% of people now are working. And unfortunately, it's not just a irregular occurrence, but we're getting more and more people ringing us saying, look, I used to donate to you guys. I actually need help now. How can I get food off you?
How can Foodbank continue? I mean, are you finding it difficult yourselves? I mean, I would urge anyone who's thinking about tossing some money toward a charity that this would be a really good one to start with. But how are you coping?
Look, we're finding it as tough as families are finding, Steve. Food costs are going up for us. Trying to find food is getting harder and harder. The manufacturers, the farmers, everyone's doing it tough. So, we rely on the generosity of community to make sure that we can source that food and get it out. And while families are feeling difficult to put food on their own table, we're now finding it extremely difficult to get food to send it out across here in Victoria, but across Australia more generally. Across Australia, it's 250,000 meals going out every day across Australia. So, every dollar donated is 2 meals created. So if anyone can help, it's foodbank.org.au. Here in Victoria, that means that we can rescue food, we can purchase food and get it from Mildura to Mallacoota at no charge to the charity.
Well, I urge everybody watching to get online and do what they can. I'll certainly be doing that. David McNamara, you're an angel. You do great work. Thank you very much for talking to us. Look at that, folks. 2024 in Australia, and there's families who can't afford to put food on the table for their children. That is just heartbreaking, I must say.